Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another Theme Park Obsession video. My name is Dylan and thank you so much for tuning back into the channel. Today I wanted to talk about my predictions for D23 when it comes to the Disneyland Resort. What do you think they're going to talk about at the expo? It's been a hot minute since we've had the D23 here in Anaheim, so I'm very curious as to see what is going to be talked about, at least for the Disneyland Resort. So let's talk about all that and more and dive right in. Now today we're just focusing on the Disneyland Resort. I'm sure at D23 they're going to talk about a bunch of stuff at the Walt Disney World property. But for today, we're going to focus on my home park, my home resort, the Disneyland Resort, because there's a few things that I think are going to happen. Now before we head inside the park, let's head over to Downtown Disney and talk about some things over there. Oh yeah, the parking lot, the first experience. No, they won't be talking about the parking lot at D23. But knowing Disney, a parking lot announcement wouldn't surprise me. But speaking of parking lots, this is one particular parking lot that I believe Disney will talk about during D23, and that is that this is part of the Disneyland Forward project. This particular space right here, along with the Lilo and Stitch parking, will be transformed into a possible expansion pad for Disneyland Park. And this isn't the only parking lot. The other plot of land that Disney is eyeballing is the one right behind Paradise Pier Hotel. That big surface lot, I believe it's the Simba lot. Oh yeah, Simba lot, because that's where we were parking for Downtown Disney when all we had was Downtown Disney. But that lot is slated to be demoed in the future for California Adventure expansion. Now the Disneyland Forward project is not something in the near term. This is something way out in the future. This is like a 30-year plan that they're looking at. So I don't know if and when they will even begin this particular project. Now the work happening at Downtown Disney might be a precursor to that, but let's head into Downtown Disney next because that's my next topic. Now the next item I'm predicting that they're going to talk about at D23 is this project right here, the Downtown Disney multi-year renovation. Pretty soon all this is going to change. They're already demoing the backside of the AMC theater, which is pretty crazy how quickly they're already starting on this particular project. Now this is going to be in multiple phases, and at D23 I'm assuming that they're going to give us a little bit more details on the project. At least I hope so, because this is a big deal back here at Downtown Disney. This hasn't been touched in years. If they haven't announced some of the new tenants by then, at D23 we might get a better idea of who's going to be here at the new Downtown Disney expansion as far as stores and maybe hopefully some new restaurants. Yeah, I have a feeling that our Downtown Disney is about to receive the Disney Springs treatment, and this is just one phase. So at D23 they could announce some new stores and restaurants and also talk about what's going on with this side as well. Because like I was saying earlier, that side is also slated for the expansion for Disneyland. And I'm wondering when they touch upon that at D23, well, hoping that they touch upon that, they mention, hey, we're also doing this side of Downtown Disney as well. Aside from the work that's currently happening at Downtown Disney and the possibility of new shops and restaurants being added, I don't think they're going to talk about anything more at D23 when it comes to the Downtown Disney District. It's probably going to be very short, maybe like 10 or 15 minute conversation at most about Downtown Disney. Oh yeah, I really love this flower arrangement. Springtime at Disneyland is always beautiful. Doing a lot of work. Go ahead and follow the links down below for some of my construction update videos. I cover all that and all those videos. Now the next prediction on my list is this bad boy right here, Tomorrowland. This particular land has been heavily rumored for a very long time now to receive a major overhaul. We can tell that the Imagineers are playing around with the space, judging from the concept art that they've had up for a couple of years now, unfortunately. But they are altering the front entrance to Tomorrowland, so there might be bigger plans in the pipeline. And at D23, I think that would be an awesome opportunity to announce those plans. Now, in typical Disney fashion, I don't think they're going to go into much detail on the project. They're probably they might announce a Tomorrowland renovation, but as far as what that entails, who knows? They could just be very vague about it. They might tease a new attraction, but I think as far as the aesthetics go, that's what they're going to be talking about. I mean, even the concept art is pretty vague. We do know that they have the idea of the planters in the front. Now, I'm sure this has changed over the course of a few years because that's how long this has been up. But as you can tell in the concept art, the paint scheme remains the same as it currently is. So I don't know if this is just because they wanted to conceal the other plans that they have for Tomorrowland, or maybe they just don't want to really change it all that much. It kind of gives, the background buildings give me the 1998 vibes. But if Disney really wanted to make a huge splash at Disneyland, I think the Tomorrowland announcement would be a pretty big deal. And as you can see, the demand continues to stay high here at Disneyland, so announcing new projects would be fantastic because the return of investment would be through the roof. Now, before we continue with Disneyland, I did want to talk about California Adventure. I feel like the next item up for bids over there is going to be that e-ticket attraction that is rumored to be heading to Avengers Campus. I believe they might talk about that at D23 as well, since Avengers, I mean, the Marvel superhero universe is so massive. It is a huge cash cow for Disney. I mean, arguably it makes more money than the Star Wars franchise. So why not continue expanding Avengers Campus and give people more of what they want? They want that e-ticket ride, including myself, and I'm not really a huge fan of Marvel, but I'd still love to see that attraction make an appearance at Avengers Campus, because let's be real, Avengers Campus desperately needs that thrilling attraction. Spider-Man Web Slingers is cool, but after a couple rides you're like, all right, I've had enough. I want something a little bit more thrilling. So I'm hoping at D23 this big rumored e-ticket attraction could be announced. And it's a perfect opportunity for them to do that. They could spend a good 15 or 20 minutes talking about just Avengers alone. I mean, Disney is for sure going to talk about Marvel at the D23 Expo, whether it be merchandise, attractions, new movies, or whatever. But yeah, I am leaning more towards that Avengers e-ticket ride being announced, just because I feel like so many people want it, and the land I feel like needs it as well, because after you go on Web Slingers and you see the shops and you eat some food at Pim's Test Kitchen, there's really nothing else to do, and it falls short. So I would like to see more in Avengers Campus, and I'm hoping at the D23 Expo, Josh tomorrow, or some other Imagineers give us some really good insight on the possibilities of what Avengers Campus looks like in the future. Oh yeah, we got Woody over here having some fun with some guests. But if you've noticed, Woody has a facelift. All these new characters are premiering at all the Disney parks around the world, and thankfully here at Disneyland we're starting to receive some of the new looks, and Woody is just one of many. And that brings me to the other thing. At D23, I'm sure they're going to talk about those giant characters that they might bring to the Avengers Campus and maybe just around the park in general. It'd be pretty nice. I think they're going to touch upon that because they did a Destination D23 in Florida, so I wouldn't be surprised if they touch upon it at the larger convention. Now, this is a huge stretch, but it's definitely a possibility that at D23 they talk about future expansions of Disneyland. And this particular spot right here, the Fantasyland Theater, has been heavily rumored to be an expansion plot for Fantasyland, or maybe a Beauty and the Beast attraction, or Frozen attraction, or something else. The thing with this though, just like the Avengers e-ticket attraction, it is a huge capital investment. So they have to really look at, okay, how much return are we gonna get if we build something like this when our parks are already full? That's the other thing I wanted to talk about. I don't think that there's gonna be a lot happening at D23, to be completely honest, because let's face it, Disneyland is packed, well, Disney World is packed, and they've been reporting the best revenue that they've had ever. So the need to build more things to drive gate, really business-wise, you don't need to, because the gate's already filled. So why spend billions of dollars investing in a new attraction so quickly when you can phase them out over multiple years, 10, 20, 30 years? And I don't know, it's kind of disappointing because I have a feeling that's the direction Disney's going. We're not gonna see these big attractions built very quickly. We're gonna see more shops and restaurants be built a lot faster than the attractions will. And as far as the D23 announcements are concerned, I I'm thinking they're gonna lean more towards what has already been announced and maybe have 1 or 2 new things in the pipeline. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong, and what I'm talking about in the video today, I hope, is on the laundry list of things to announce, because how cool would it be to have this Fantasyland expansion, the Tomorrowland renovation? I mean, those would be so exciting. Next up real quick is Mickey's Toontown. Now, we already know quite a few details on Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway since they have a carbon copy of it back at Disney's Hollywood Studios, and we know a little bit more about the Toontown renovation that'll be happening here. It'll be opening in 2023. But I have a feeling at D23 they're gonna talk a little bit more about Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, because rumor has it that our version is slightly different than the one in Orlando, especially the queue. We do know the queue for a fact is different. So I think at the expo they're gonna talk about those differences and maybe give us a few more details on the renovation here in Toontown. Donald's Boat, Goofy's House, and Gadget's Go Coaster are supposed to be getting major renovations, so maybe at the expo they'll talk about those particular attractions and go in a little bit more detail. I really hope there are some surprises at D23 for the Disneyland Resort. I think there are going to be more surprises for Walt Disney World, because here's the thing. Disney has to compete with Universal Orlando Resort, because at Universal Orlando, they're building an all-new theme park. So I feel like they have to talk about something when it comes to the Orlando parks. With the Disneyland park here, I don't know. It's gonna be a hit or miss. Oh yeah, it's time to head into Galaxy's Edge through one of my favorite transitions here at the park, the Fantasyland transition. Here we go. Now, as far as Galaxy's Edge is concerned, I don't know if at D23 they're going to talk about expansion. They might talk about entertainment, because we'd like to see some more entertainment here at Galaxy's Edge. It's like the one missing component. The land needs a little bit more texture when it comes to that particular department. So maybe at D23 they'll talk about that. But I have another video on some possibilities, some rumors, and my wish list on what I would like to see at Galaxy's Edge. I'll leave that link down below in the description. But as far as the D23 announcement, I don't know if we're gonna hear anything just yet, because it's only been 3 years, and I think Disney wants to continue to let this land just do its own thing. The other item that I believe they're gonna be talking about at D23 is Princess and the Frog and its status, because we have no idea what is going on with the Splash Mountain here at Disneyland or the Splash Mountain at Walt Disney World. Now, right now, they're not working on the Princess and the Frog renovation. This is just general maintenance, and it'll reopen for spring break crowds here at Disneyland, because it does get relatively busy and it does get hot here in SoCal, so they're gonna wanna need a water ride ready to go. But again, we do not know when the renovation for Princess and the Frog is gonna begin. And quite frankly, my opinion is that they should do Tiana justice and build her a brand new attraction from the ground up. I think that would be really cool, and they could retheme this to something kind of generic or whatever, just maybe something original, because it's pretty the facade here, you can pretty much make that anything. So I don't know, we'll see what happens with the Princess and the Frog renovation for Splash Mountain, and I'm hoping that they talk about a little bit more of it at D23. There's so much potential for D23. Disney can really give us some great surprises, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed that we see a lot of cool stuff for the Parks and Resorts panel. I hope it's not like last time where they talk about Target for 20 minutes. I mean, I want to see some new stuff for the Parks and Resorts, and I'm hoping, praying that we see some really exciting stuff. But I think that's gonna do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and smash the thumbs up button. And if you're new to the channel and you love these videos and more, hit that subscribe button and notification bell to stay up to date on every time I post a new one. I have an Instagram account. I'll leave that link down below in the description. I post updates there that I don't normally post here on the channel. So if you're not already following me on Instagram, be sure to do that by following the link down below. I can't wait to see what happens in the future. Still not sure if I'm going to be going to D23 or not, but you guys will be the first to know if I do decide to go. But until then, I hope you have a beautiful day, morning, evening, whatever it is, and I'll see you next time in the parks. Bye.